Before we begin, please note that the information in this video is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not intended as professional career or academic advice. The field of nursing and its educational requirements are subject to change and can vary significantly by state and institution. Always consult with accredited educational institutions, academic advisors, and state licensing boards to make informed decisions about your career path. She's a 34-year-old paralegal in a small town in Ohio, staring at a computer screen, reviewing contracts until her eyes blur. The work is fine, it pays the bills, but it doesn't feed her soul. Every time she drives past the local hospital, she feels a pull. A deep, unshakable desire to do something that matters, to be on the front lines of care, to hold a hand and say, "I'm here to help." She's dreamed of being a nurse since she was a little girl, but life got in the way. Now with a mortgage, a car payment, and a full-time job she can't afford to quit, the idea of going back to a traditional on-campus nursing school feels like a fantasy. It's a 4-year commitment, a 9-to-5 classroom schedule she simply can't make work. For her, and for millions like her, the door to nursing seems closed. But what if it isn't? What if there was a different door? The United States is facing a staggering nursing shortage. The Bureau of Labor Statistics projects a need for over 193,000 new registered nurses each year for the next decade. We don't just need nurses, we need them desperately. And at the exact same time, there are countless people, just like that paralegal in Ohio, who have the heart, the intelligence, and the drive to fill that gap, but are locked out by the rigid structure of traditional education. This is where the online nursing degree enters the conversation. It's a concept that just a few years ago might have sounded like a joke. Learn to be a nurse from your couch? But today it's not a joke. It's a revolution. It's a potential solution to a national crisis and a personal dream maker, all rolled into one. But is it right for you? Is it a legitimate pathway to a respected and successful career? Or is it a shortcut with hidden pitfalls? That is exactly what we are going to break down today. We're going to pull back the curtain on online nursing degrees with brutal honesty. We're not here to sell you on a program. We're here to arm you with the truth. We will dissect the massive, life-changing pros, and we will stare unflinchingly at the serious, career-altering cons. We'll talk about the mind-blowing flexibility, the potential cost savings, and the access to programs you never thought possible. But we'll also tackle the tough questions. How do you learn hands-on skills online? Are these degrees respected by hospitals? What kind of person fails in an online program, and what kind of person thrives? By the end of this video, you will have a crystal-clear framework to decide if an online nursing degree is the key that unlocks your future, or a path you should avoid. So let's get into it. First, let's just acknowledge the world we live in. The idea of online learning isn't some fringe concept anymore. The last few years have completely rewired our understanding of what's possible remotely. We work from home, we see doctors from home, and we learn from home. Higher education has been forced to adapt, and in many ways it's become better for it. This shift has supercharged the growth and acceptance of online degree programs, especially in fields that were once considered exclusively hands-on. And nursing is at the epicenter of this transformation. Why? Because the demand is off the charts and the pool of potential students has changed. The typical nursing student is no longer an 18-year-old fresh out of high school. A significant number are career changers in their 20s, 30s, and even 40s. They are parents. They are military spouses. They are people living in rural areas, miles from the nearest university. They are individuals with existing jobs and responsibilities who can't just hit a pause button on their lives for 2 to 4 years. The traditional model was built for a different era and a different type of student. The online model is built for the modern world. So, let's start with the single biggest, most undeniable advantage of an online nursing program: flexibility. This word gets thrown around a lot, but let's break down what it actually means for a future nursing student. It's not just about getting to wear sweatpants to class. It's about fundamentally restructuring the learning process to fit your life, not the other way around. Imagine this: you work a 9-to-5 job. In a traditional program, you'd have to quit. Period. In an online program, your coursework gets done on your schedule. You can watch a recorded lecture on pharmacology at 10 p.m. after the kids are in bed. You can complete a discussion board post about nursing ethics on your lunch break. You can listen to an audio lesson while you're commuting or folding laundry. This is what we call asynchronous learning. The content is there, the deadlines are firm, but when you engage with that material between those deadlines is largely up to you. It puts you in the driver's seat of your own education. Now, not all online programs are purely asynchronous. Many are hybrid or synchronous, which means you'll have scheduled, mandatory online class times where you log into a live virtual classroom with your professor and classmates. But even this offers incredible flexibility. You don't have to spend an hour fighting traffic to get to campus. You don't have to pay for gas or a parking pass. You just open your laptop and you're in class. This alone can save you hundreds of hours and thousands of dollars over the course of a degree. This flexibility extends beyond just your daily schedule. Think about geographic freedom. Let's say you live in a small town with only one local community college, and their nursing program has a 2-year waitlist. Or maybe the best program for the specialty you want to pursue, like a Bachelor of Science in Nursing or BSN, is in a different state. In the past, your options were to wait, move, or give up. With online education, the entire country becomes your campus. You can potentially enroll in a top-tier, fully accredited program from a prestigious university hundreds of miles away, all without having to sell your house and uproot your family. This radically expands your options and allows you to choose a program based on its quality and fit for your career goals, not just its zip code. This level of control is, for many, the deciding factor. It's what makes the impossible possible. It's the difference between that paralegal staying stuck behind her desk, dreaming of being a nurse, and actually taking the first concrete step toward making that dream a reality. The ability to earn a living while you learn, to be there for your family while you invest in your future. This is the revolutionary promise of online nursing education. It's a powerful, compelling reason to consider this path. But this incredible freedom comes with a hidden price. It's not a flaw in the system, but rather a fundamental requirement for the student. It demands a level of discipline, time management, and self-motivation that many people, frankly, don't possess. There's no professor looking over your shoulder. There's no physical classroom to force you into a routine. It's just you, your computer, and a deadline. And that's not even addressing the single biggest question that everyone has, the elephant in the room. How on earth do you learn to be a hands-on, compassionate, life-saving nurse through a computer screen? The short answer is you don't. Not entirely. And any school that tells you that you can learn to place in 4, or assess a critical patient, or perform CPR completely through a webcam is a school you should run from. Fast. The truth behind the term online nursing degree is one of the most misunderstood aspects of modern education. It's not about replacing the human touch with a mouse click. It's about re-engineering the how and the when of nursing education. It's built on a concept called the hybrid model. Think of it as 3 essential pillars holding up your entire nursing education. Only one of those pillars is truly online. The other 2 are intensely, undeniably, hands-on. The first pillar is the one you're picturing, the didactic or the classroom portion. This is all the foundational knowledge, the theory, the book smarts. We're talking anatomy and physiology, pharmacology, pathophysiology, nursing ethics. This is the mountain of information you need to climb before you can ever safely touch a patient. In a traditional program, you'd be sitting in a lecture hall 3 to 5 days a week, trying to absorb this information from a professor at the front of the room. In an online program, that lecture hall is your kitchen table, your home office, or a quiet corner of a coffee shop at 6 a.m. before your kids wake up. The lectures are pre-recorded or delivered live via video conference. Your textbooks are digital. Your assignments are submitted through an online portal. And this is where the first major pro of online learning shines. Let's imagine a student, we'll call her Sarah. Sarah is a 32-year-old medical assistant in rural Ohio. She has 2 kids, a mortgage, and a dream of becoming an RN that feels constantly out of reach because the nearest university is a 2-hour drive away. And she can't just quit her job to attend classes from 9 to 5. For Sarah, the online didactic component isn't a compromise. It's a lifeline. She can watch a lecture on the cardiovascular system at 10 p.m. after her kids are in bed. If the professor explains the cardiac cycle and it doesn't click, she doesn't have to feel embarrassed to raise her hand. She can just rewind the video. She can watch it 3, 4, 5 times until the concepts of systole and diastole are as clear as day. She can do her assigned readings during her lunch break at work. This flexibility is the engine that makes the whole system possible for people who don't fit the traditional 18-year-old college student mold. It allows them to master the what and the why on their own schedule so they can be fully prepared for the next 2 pillars where the theory gets real. The second pillar is the skills lab. This is where the screen gets turned off and you get your hands on the equipment. These are mandatory, in-person sessions that are often scheduled in intensive blocks. You might be required to travel to the main campus or a designated satellite location for a full weekend once a month, or for an entire week twice a semester. There's no skipping this. There's no virtual alternative. This is where you, Sarah from Ohio, finally walk into a room that looks like a hospital ward. It's filled with high-fidelity mannequins that breathe, blink, and have a pulse. Their chests rise and fall. You can hear their heart and lung sounds with a real stethoscope. Your professor, who you've only seen on a screen, is now standing right next to you, guiding your hands as you learn to insert a Foley catheter for the first time. You're not just reading a chapter on sterile technique, you're living it. You're fumbling with the sterile gloves, trying not to contaminate your field. Your heart pounding a little because it feels so real. You'll practice giving injections on silicone pads, learning the different angles for intramuscular and subcutaneous shots. You'll learn to start in 4 on a prosthetic arm, feeling that distinct pop as the needle enters the vein. It's a controlled environment designed for you to make mistakes, to ask questions, and to build muscle memory without any risk to a real person. These lab intensives are where the abstract concepts from your online lectures suddenly click into place. You're not just learning the steps. You're learning the feel, the rhythm, the tactile art of nursing. But mannequins don't have emotions. They don't have families worried in the waiting room. They can't tell you where it hurts. And that brings us to the third and most important pillar, clinical rotations. This is the soul of nursing education, and it is 100% identical for both online and traditional students. There is no difference. Every single accredited nursing program, online or on ground, requires hundreds of hours of supervised clinical experience in real healthcare settings. We're talking hospitals, outpatient clinics, nursing homes, and community health centers. This is where Sarah, having mastered the theory online and practiced the skills in the lab, finally puts on her scrubs and walks onto a real hospital floor in her own community. She's not alone. She's paired with an experienced, working nurse known as a preceptor. Her preceptor is her guide, her safety net, and her mentor. For 12 hours a shift, Sarah is shadowing, assisting, and then gradually taking on more responsibility. She's not just practicing taking a blood pressure. She's taking the blood pressure of a real patient who just had hip surgery. She's listening to her preceptor explain how to talk to a family who just received difficult news. She's learning how to manage her time, how to prioritize care between 4 different patients, how to chart her assessments, and how to work as part of a complex healthcare team. She'll rotate through different specialties, a few weeks on a medical surgical floor, then pediatrics, then labor and delivery, then the emergency department. Each rotation is a new world, a new set of skills, and a new challenge. The online school's job is to facilitate this. They have affiliation agreements with healthcare systems across the country. However, and this is a critical point we'll dive into later, the logistics can be a major hurdle. While some schools have robust placement teams that find a clinical site and preceptor for you, many programs, especially online ones, put the responsibility on the student. This means you, the student, might be the one making cold calls to hospital nurse managers in your area, trying to secure your own clinical placement. It's a significant challenge that traditional students rarely face, and it's one of the biggest potential cons of the online route. So when you see an ad for an online nursing degree, what it really means is a didactic online hybrid degree. It means you'll learn the theory from home, you'll travel periodically for intensive in-person lab work, and you will complete your hands-on training in a real hospital or clinic in your community, just like every other nursing student in the country. It's a model designed not to replace traditional education, but to provide a different pathway for a different kind of student. It's a system of trade-offs. You trade the campus experience for the flexibility to keep your job. You trade daily FaceTime with professors for the ability to learn at your own pace. Now that we've shattered the myth of the 100% online nurse and you understand the 3 pillars, online theory, in-person labs, and real-world clinicals, the bigger question emerges. It's not just about how it works, but who it works for. Is this pathway truly designed for someone like Sarah, the career-changing medical assistant? Or is it better suited for the paramedic who already has a decade of patient care experience? What about the recent high school graduate who has never worked in healthcare a day in their life? The answer isn't a one-size-fits-all, because the ideal candidate for an online nursing program might not be who you think it is, and the reasons why reveal the deepest pros and cons of this entire educational revolution. Let's start with the biggest, most glittering promise of online nursing education: flexibility. This isn't just a minor perk. It's the entire foundation upon which this revolution is built. Imagine 2 paths. Path A is the traditional route. You quit your job, you rearrange your entire life, and you show up to a brick-and-mortar classroom at 9 a.m. every Tuesday and Thursday, no exceptions. If your child gets sick, you miss a lecture. If your car breaks down, you miss a quiz. Your life must bend to the will of the university's schedule. Now imagine Path B. It's 11 p.m. on a Wednesday. The kids are finally asleep, the house is quiet, and you, in your pajamas, log into your university portal. You open a lecture on pharmacokinetics that was posted on Monday. You can pause it to look up a term you don't understand. You can rewind it 3 times to re-listen to the complex explanation of drug half-life. You can do your coursework on your lunch break at your current job, or listen to a recorded lecture while you're folding laundry. This is the world of asynchronous learning, and it is the single most powerful advantage of an online degree. It's education that molds itself to the chaotic reality of your life, not the other way around. For people who are already working in healthcare, the licensed practical nurses, the paramedics, the medical assistants looking to advance, this isn't just a convenience, it is the only conceivable way to level up their career without sacrificing their current income. They can continue to pay their mortgage and support their families while investing in their future. Some programs offer a synchronous model, where you log in for live, scheduled online classes. This provides more structure and real-time interaction, a sort of middle ground. But either way, you're eliminating the soul-crushing commute, the cost of gas and campus parking, and the rigid, unforgiving schedule of a traditional program. This flexibility is the dream. It's the sales pitch. But it's also where we find our first and arguably most significant con. And it's a big one. The question that everyone asks, the elephant in the room for any online nursing program, is this: how on earth do you learn to be a nurse, a hands-on life-saving in the trenches professional through a computer screen? The answer is you don't. And any program that suggests you can is not a program you should be considering. The truth is, virtually all legitimate online nursing degrees are actually hybrid programs. The didactic portion, the theory, the lectures, the book learning, that's all done online. But the clinical hours, the part where you're actually in a hospital or a clinic learning to start and perform a patient assessment or administer medication, that is 100% in person. There is no substitute for real-world, hands-on experience. The problem is, the flexibility of your online coursework can come to a screeching halt when it collides with the rigid demands of clinical placements. And here lies the hidden nightmare for many online nursing students: finding one. While some well-established, often more expensive, online universities have robust systems in place to find and arrange clinical placements for their students, a shocking number of programs do not. They operate under a model where the responsibility falls entirely on you, the student. Imagine this scenario. You're excelling in your online classes. You're acing your exams on anatomy and pathophysiology. You feel ready. But now you have to secure 200 hours in a medical surgical setting. The school provides a list of requirements and then essentially wishes you good luck. So you start making calls. You spend your precious study time writing emails to nurse managers, hospital administrators, and clinic directors in your area. You're cold calling, essentially asking these incredibly busy professionals to take you on as a student, to mentor you for free. You're met with a wall of silence. Emails go unanswered. Voicemails are never returned. Some hospitals have exclusive agreements with local universities and won't even consider outside students. Others are simply too short-staffed to take on the burden of training someone. Days turn into weeks, weeks into months. Your anxiety skyrockets. You see your graduation date, this beautiful finish line you've been working towards, threatening to drift further and further away, all because you can't find a single nurse preceptor willing to take you on. This is a very real and very stressful reality for thousands of online students. This single hurdle can derail an entire nursing career before it even begins. The promise of flexibility feels like a cruel joke when you're spending 20 hours a week not studying, but desperately trying to find a place to do the work. But let's pivot back to another massive pro, one that ties directly into that idea of flexibility: accessibility. For someone living in a rural town, hundreds of miles from the nearest major university, a traditional nursing degree might be a geographical impossibility. It would require uprooting their entire family, selling their home, and moving to a new city. Online education obliterates that barrier. It democratizes access. A student in small-town Wyoming can, in theory, access the same high-quality curriculum as a student in downtown Los Angeles. This opens the door to a nursing career for a whole new demographic of people who were previously locked out by geography. And this often connects to cost, though not always in the way you might think. Tuition for online programs isn't always cheaper. In fact, for some well-known private universities, it can be significantly more expensive than a local state school. The real savings come from the ancillary costs. No need to pay for a dorm room or an expensive apartment near campus. No daily commuting costs. No mandatory meal plans. But the most significant financial benefit is the one we touched on earlier: the ability to continue working. By not having to sacrifice your current income, you are avoiding what is, for most people, the single largest cost of a traditional full-time degree program. You're earning while you're learning. This financial and geographical freedom, however, comes at another, more personal cost. It's the con of isolation. Think about the traditional nursing school experience. It's famously grueling, but there's a powerful sense of camaraderie. You form study groups in the library, fueled by caffeine and a shared sense of panic before a big exam. You grab lunch with your classmates after a tough clinical day, venting about a difficult patient or celebrating a successful procedure. You build a network, a support system of people who are going through the exact same struggle you are. This shared experience is a lifeline. In an online program, that lifeline is often missing. Your classroom is a solitary space. Your classmates are just names on a discussion board forum. You might post a question about a confusing concept and wait hours, or even days, for a reply. There's no one to turn to in the moment and say, "Hey, did you understand that part about cardiac tamponade?" The self-discipline required is monumental. There's no professor looking over your shoulder, no study group waiting for you at the library. It's just you, your computer, and a mountain of incredibly challenging material. When you're overwhelmed, when you're struggling with doubt, that feeling of isolation can be profound. You have to be your own cheerleader, your own motivator, and your own support system. For some, this independence is empowering. For many others, the loneliness becomes a significant obstacle to their success. So we're left with this complex picture. On one hand, you have this incredible potential for flexibility, accessibility, and financial viability that can make a nursing career possible for people who could only dream of it before. On the other hand, you have the daunting, career-threatening challenge of securing clinical placements and the deep, personal struggle against isolation. The scales can tip dramatically from one person to the next. But this raises an even more critical question. It's not just about whether you can survive the program, but what happens after. How do hospitals, hiring managers, and the healthcare industry at large actually view these online degrees? When you're sitting in a job interview, does that diploma earned from your kitchen table carry the same weight as one earned in a traditional lecture hall? The answer to that is far more nuanced than a simple yes or no, and it's what we need to break down next. Let's start with the single most important factor that levels the entire playing field. The one thing that can make the distinction between online and on campus almost completely irrelevant. It's a word you absolutely must have burned into your brain before you even think about applying to a program: accreditation. Think of accreditation as a seal of quality, a stamp of approval from a recognized, independent authority that says, yes, this nursing program, regardless of how it's delivered, meets the rigorous national standards for excellence in nursing education. In the United States, there are two main accrediting bodies for nursing that you need to know: the Accreditation Commission for Education in Nursing, or ACN, and the Commission on Collegiate Nursing Education, or CCNE. If a program, whether it's at a state university or an online-focused institution, is accredited by either ACN or CCNE, it has passed the test. It means their curriculum, their faculty, their student outcomes, and critically, their clinical placement process have all been put under a microscope and found to be up to par. So when you're in that job interview, the first thing a knowledgeable hiring manager or HR department is going to look for isn't whether you attended classes in your pajamas. They're going to look for that seal of accreditation. An accredited online degree is infinitely more valuable and respected than an unaccredited degree from a brick-and-mortar school nobody's ever heard of. Accreditation is the great equalizer. It's your non-negotiable ticket to the game. Without it, you're not even on the field. But what about the human element? What about the perception of the person sitting across the desk from you? It's true that a decade or two ago, an online degree might have raised an eyebrow. There was a stigma, a lingering perception that it was somehow easier, less rigorous. But the world has undergone a seismic shift, and the world of healthcare education has shifted right along with it. The COVID-19 pandemic acted as a massive, unexpected catalyst. Suddenly, Ivy League universities, massive state schools, and prestigious medical colleges were all forced to pivot to online learning. The line between traditional and online education became irrevocably blurred. Professors who once swore by the lecture hall were now mastering Zoom, and students who thought they needed a physical classroom were thriving in virtual ones. This experience forced a collective reevaluation across the entire industry. Healthcare systems, which were on the front lines, saw firsthand that the quality of a new graduate nurse had nothing to do with where they sat for their pharmacology lecture. It had everything to do with their critical thinking, their clinical competency, and their ability to pass the NCLEX, the National Licensure Exam. And guess what? Graduates from accredited online programs were passing the NCLEX at rates comparable to, and sometimes even exceeding, their counterparts from traditional programs. Today, the vast majority of modern healthcare recruiters and hiring managers understand this. They've hired excellent nurses from online programs. They've worked alongside them. They know that what matters is the quality of the program, not its delivery method. The old bias is fading fast, replaced by a pragmatic focus on skills, licensure, and that all-important accreditation. Now let's talk about the piece of paper itself, the diploma you'll hang on your wall. This is a source of a lot of anxiety, but the reality is wonderfully simple. When you graduate from a reputable university that offers both online and on-campus programs, your diploma will not say Online Bachelor of Science in Nursing. It will say Bachelor of Science in Nursing. Your official transcript will list the same courses, the same credit hours, and the same degree conferred as an on-campus student. Why? Because it's the same degree. The curriculum, the academic standards, the learning objectives, they are identical. The university is certifying that you have met their established requirements for that degree, period. The method you use to meet them is your business. This isn't some back alley certificate. It's a degree from an established institution, and they guard the reputation of that degree fiercely, ensuring the online pathway is just as rigorous as the traditional one. But this brings us to the biggest, most common objection you will hear. But how can you learn to be a nurse online? Nursing is hands-on. And that objection is 100% correct. Nursing is absolutely hands-on. You can't learn how to start in 4 by watching a video. You can't learn how to perform a complex wound dressing from a textbook diagram. You can't learn how to comfort a patient's family through a computer screen. And this is the most misunderstood part of online nursing education. An accredited online nursing program is actually a hybrid program. The academic coursework, the theory, the pharmacology, the pathophysiology, the research is delivered online. But the clinical experience, the hands-on part, is not. It can't be. Every single accredited nursing program in the country, online or otherwise, requires hundreds of hours of in-person, supervised clinical practice. For an associate's degree, you might be looking at over 500 hours. For a bachelor's, it could be 700 hours or more. Online programs don't skip this, they facilitate it. They have dedicated clinical placement teams that work with you to secure rotations at hospitals, clinics, and other healthcare facilities in your local area. You will be on the floor in a real hospital with real patients under the direct supervision of a licensed preceptor and your clinical instructor. You'll be starting IVs, administering medications, charting, and doing everything a traditional student does. The only difference is that after your 12-hour shift, you'll go home and take your anatomy test on your laptop instead of in a lecture hall. So when someone questions the validity of an online nursing degree, remember this. The clinical requirement is the non-negotiable, in-person anchor that ensures every graduate, regardless of program format, is prepared for the realities of patient care. Knowing all this, how do you leverage it in an interview? How do you turn what some might see as a question mark into an exclamation point? You don't hide the fact that you did an online program. You frame it as a testament to your strengths. When a hiring manager asks about your education, you have a powerful story to tell. You can say something like, I chose an accredited online BSN program because it demonstrated the kind of skills that are essential in modern nursing. It required me to be incredibly self-disciplined and organized to balance a rigorous academic load with my other commitments. I became highly proficient with digital health technologies and communication platforms, and I developed into a proactive, independent learner who knows how to find answers and solve problems. It wasn't just about learning the material. It was about mastering the art of self-management, a skill I use every single day to prioritize patient care and manage a busy workload. See the difference? You're not just a nursing graduate. You're a time management expert. You're a disciplined self-starter. You're technologically savvy. These are not just buzzwords. They are the exact soft skills that nurse managers are desperate to find. You are showing them that the process of your education gave you a unique advantage. You're taking their potential objection and turning it into one of your greatest assets. The perception of an online degree isn't just about the institution or the accreditation. It's about the story you tell and the confidence with which you tell it. And when that story is backed by a license, proven clinical skills, and a degree from a fully accredited school, the question of online versus on campus simply fades into the background, replaced by a much more important question: when can you start? And for many aspiring nurses, the answer to that question is tomorrow, next week, or as soon as my kids are in bed. And that's because online education has fundamentally shattered the old barriers of time and place. It's created a pathway for a whole new generation of healers who simply couldn't fit their dreams into a traditional 9-to-5, Monday through Friday classroom box. This brings us to the very first, and arguably the most powerful advantage of an online nursing degree: radical, life-altering flexibility. Let's talk about what that actually looks like. Forget the abstract concept. Let's make it real. Imagine a woman we'll call Jessica. She's 32, a single mom to 2 elementary school kids. By day, she's a phenomenal medical assistant in a busy cardiology clinic. She's the one patients remember, the one who calms them down before a stress test, the one who never forgets a name. She knows deep in her bones that she's meant to be a nurse. But how? The local university's nursing program requires her to be on campus 4 days a week, from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. For Jessica, that might as well be on the moon. Who would pick up her kids from school? How would she pay her rent if she quit her full-time job? Her dream feels locked behind a door, and traditional education holds the only key. A key she simply doesn't have. This is where the online model doesn't just open the door. It takes the door off its hinges. For someone like Jessica, an online program means she can watch a lecture on pathophysiology at 10 o'clock at night, after her kids are asleep and the house is finally quiet. It means she can complete her required readings and assignments on her tablet during her lunch break at the clinic. It means she can participate in a mandatory class discussion forum on her phone while waiting in the car to pick up her son from soccer practice. Her education weaves itself into the fabric of her already busy life, rather than demanding she tear her life apart to make room for it. Now, within this world of flexibility, there are 2 main flavors you'll encounter: asynchronous and synchronous. It's crucial to understand the difference. Asynchronous is the ultimate in learn on your own time. Lectures are pre-recorded, assignments have weekly deadlines, and you can structure your work however you see fit, as long as you get it done. It's perfect for the self-motivated, highly organized student like Jessica who has a chaotic, unpredictable schedule. Synchronous learning, on the other hand, tries to replicate the live classroom experience online. You'll have scheduled class times where you have to log into a live video lecture with your professor and classmates. It offers more structure and real-time interaction, which some students need to stay on track. The trade-off, of course, is less flexibility. You still have to be at your computer at a specific time, say every Tuesday night from 7 to 9 p.m. Many programs are actually a hybrid, with some asynchronous components and some synchronous ones. The key is to look at your own life, your own personality, and ask, do I need the total freedom of an asynchronous program? Or do I thrive with the structure of scheduled, live online classes? The power of online education is that you get to choose. The second massive pro is the demolition of geography. Think about it. Your access to a quality education shouldn't be determined by your zip code. But for decades it was. If you lived in a small rural town, your options were limited to the local community college, if you were lucky enough to have one. And what if that program had a 2-year waitlist? What if the best cardiac nursing program in the country was 1,000 miles away? Traditionally, your options were to move your entire family, uproot your life and start over, or just give up. Online education changes the entire map. Suddenly, that top-tier university in Ohio, or that highly respected program in Florida, is accessible from your kitchen table in rural Wyoming. You don't have to sell your house. You don't have to pull your kids out of their school. You don't have to leave the support system of your friends and family. It democratizes education, bringing world-class instruction to anyone with a decent internet connection. But I know what you're thinking. It's the big blinking question mark hanging over this whole discussion. But what about the hands-on part? What about clinicals? This is, without a doubt, the most common and most important question people have. And the answer is simple. There is no such thing as an online clinical. Your clinical hours are 100% in-person, hands-on, in a real healthcare setting with real patients. Reputable online nursing programs have this down to a science. They have dedicated clinical placement coordinators whose entire job is to work with you to find and secure approved clinical sites in your local community. They have networks and agreements with hospitals, clinics, long-term care facilities, and doctors' offices all over the country. So, while you might be learning the theory of pharmacology from a professor in another state, You'll be practicing how to administer medications under the direct supervision of a preceptor, an experienced licensed nurse at a hospital just 10 miles from your home. You'll perform the exact same skills, face the exact same challenges, and meet the exact same rigorous standards as a student from the brick-and-mortar university down the street. The delivery of your theoretical knowledge is virtual, but the application of that knowledge is profoundly real. Let's move on to the third major advantage, which is the potential for significant cost savings. Now, I want to be very clear here. Tuition for online programs is not always cheaper. In fact, some private online universities can be incredibly expensive. This requires careful research. However, the savings often come from eliminating the vast array of hidden costs associated with on-campus life. Think about the daily commute, the cost of gas, tolls, parking passes, and the wear and tear on your car. Over the course of a 2-year program, that can add up to thousands of dollars. With an online program, your commute is from your bedroom to your living room. Done. Think about campus-related fees. On-campus students pay for things like student activity centers, campus gyms, and other facilities, whether they use them or not. These fees are often drastically reduced or eliminated for online students. And of course, there's the big one, housing. There's no need to pay for an expensive dorm room or an overpriced apartment near campus when you can learn from the home you already live in. But perhaps the most significant financial factor is the ability to maintain your income. Most traditional, on-campus nursing programs are full-time commitments that make it nearly impossible to hold down a serious job. Many students have to quit their jobs entirely. For an adult learner with a mortgage, a car payment, and a family to support, that's a non-starter. The flexibility of an online program often allows students to continue working full-time, or at least part-time while they study. This isn't just about saving money. It's about continuing to earn money, which can be the single factor that makes getting a degree possible. Finally, the fourth pro is the creation of a personalized and powerful learning environment. Not everyone thrives in a large 200-person lecture hall. For more introverted students, or for those who are intimidated to ask questions in front of their peers, the online format can feel safer and more focused. You have a direct line to your professor via email and virtual office hours. You can formulate your thoughts carefully in a written discussion forum, rather than having to speak up on the spot. Even more importantly, you have total control over the pace of your learning. If you're struggling to understand the Krebs cycle or the mechanism of action for beta blockers, you can pause the lecture. You can rewind it and watch it again, and again, and again until it clicks. You can't ask a live professor to repeat the same 30-second explanation 12 times. This ability to master complex material at your own pace is a superpower for the dedicated student. And in a field like nursing, where true mastery can be the difference between life and death, this is no small thing. The online format also inherently builds your technical skills. You become proficient in navigating online learning platforms, using digital communication tools, and managing your time with technology, all skills that translate directly to a modern healthcare environment dominated by electronic health records and telehealth. Flexibility, accessibility, and control. For the right person, these aren't just benefits. They're the keys that unlock a future that once seemed impossible. But, and this is a big but, this path is paved with its own unique challenges, and ignoring them could be a critical mistake. Let's pull back the curtain on that big but, because this is where dreams meet reality, and where many aspiring online nursing students hit a wall they never saw coming. The single biggest misconception about online education, especially in a field as demanding as nursing, is that online is a synonym for easier. It is not. In many ways, it's significantly harder. In a traditional classroom, the structure is provided for you. You have a set time to be in a specific chair, a professor looking at you, and classmates physically around you, creating a subtle but powerful sense of accountability. Online, you are the master and commander of your own ship, sailing on a very turbulent sea. All of that external structure vanishes. It's replaced by something that has to come entirely from within: radical, unwavering self-discipline. Think about it. There's no professor to notice you nodding off in the back row. There's no study group meeting at the library to drag you out of the house. It's just you, your laptop, and a mountain of coursework. The asynchronous nature of most programs means you might have a week to watch several hours of lectures, complete assigned readings from a textbook that's 1,000 pages long, contribute to multiple discussion board posts with meaningful, well-cited responses, and study for a major exam. No one is going to call you if you decide to binge watch a new series instead. The deadline is the only boss, and it is a merciless one. Procrastination isn't just a bad habit in an online nursing program. It's a potential program ender. You have to become a master of time management, a scheduler of your own life down to the hour, and your own biggest cheerleader and drill sergeant, all at once. The freedom is immense, but the responsibility that comes with it is monumental. If you are someone who needs external pressure to perform, this environment can feel less like a convenience and more like a void. Next, let's talk about the human element. Nursing school is famously, notoriously, soul-crushingly difficult. It's a rite of passage. In a traditional program, this difficulty forges an incredible bond between students. You survive because you have a platoon. You have people to text at 2 a.m. when you can't grasp a concept in pathophysiology. You have friends to grab coffee with after a brutal clinical shift to vent and decompress. You see the same look of exhaustion and determination in their eyes, and you know you're not alone. This camaraderie is a critical lifeline. In an online program, that lifeline can feel 1,000 miles away. You're often studying in isolation. Your classmates are names on a screen, profile pictures in a discussion forum. While programs try to foster community through group projects and virtual forums, it's not the same as the spontaneous, organic support system that builds in person. The loneliness can be profound. When you bomb a quiz or feel overwhelmed by the material, that self-doubt echoes in the silence of your study space. There's no one right there to pat you on the back and say, "I found that hard too, let's figure it out together." Successful online students are the ones who fight against this isolation. They are intentional. They are relentless in forming virtual study groups, scheduling Zoom calls, and actively engaging on discussion boards beyond the bare minimum. They have to build the community that traditional students get by default. If you are a person who thrives on social interaction and external support, you have to ask yourself honestly, are you prepared to build your own support system from scratch through a screen? Now we come to what is, without a doubt, the single greatest logistical nightmare and potential deal breaker for online nursing students: clinical placements. Let's be crystal clear. There is no such thing as a 100% online nursing degree that leads to licensure. Nursing is a hands-on profession. You must complete hundreds, sometimes over 1,000 hours of in-person clinical training in real healthcare settings to graduate and be eligible to take the NCLEX. This is non-negotiable. Here's the problem. Traditional universities have spent decades, even centuries, building relationships and contracts with local hospitals and clinics. They have a dedicated department that places their students into these clinical spots. It's a well-oiled machine. Many online programs, particularly some of the large, national for-profit ones, operate differently. They will enroll you, take your tuition, and then, when it's time for you to do your clinical hours, the responsibility for finding a placement often falls squarely on your shoulders. You, the student, are expected to find your own clinical site and, even more difficult, your own preceptor, an experienced nurse or provider willing to take you under their wing and mentor you for free. Imagine this scenario. You're halfway through your program, excelling in your coursework. Now you have to essentially take on a second, unpaid job as a clinical placement coordinator. You are cold calling dozens of hospitals, clinics, and doctors' offices. You're sending out hundreds of emails, a resume in one hand, a list of your school's requirements in the other. You're met with rejection after rejection. We're already full with students from the local university. Our policy doesn't allow for students from online programs. We don't have enough staff to provide a preceptor. The panic begins to set in. Your graduation, your career, your entire financial and emotional investment now hinges on your ability to network and sell yourself to a saturated market of clinical sites. It is an incredibly stressful and uncertain process. Some students spend months searching, delaying their graduation. Some have to travel hundreds of miles from home to find a spot. And tragically, some are never able to secure a placement and are forced to drop out, deep in debt and with nothing to show for it. This is the single most important question you must ask before you enroll in any online program. What is your exact policy on clinical placement? Do not accept vague answers like, "We provide you with resources and support." That is a red flag. You need to ask, do you have existing contracts with facilities in my geographic area? Do you guarantee placement for all of your students? What is your placement success rate? If a school cannot give you a direct, confident answer, you need to be extremely cautious. This one issue can be the difference between a successful degree and a devastating failure. Finally, there's the mismatch of technology and learning style. It's easy to assume that if you can use social media, you can handle online learning. But it's more than that. You need a reliable computer, high-speed internet, and the ability to troubleshoot basic tech issues on your own. When your connection drops during a proctored exam, tech support might not be immediately available. But more fundamentally, you have to consider how you truly learn best. Are you someone who needs the energy of a live lecture? Do you learn by raising your hand and asking a question the second it pops into your head? Getting immediate feedback and clarification? In an asynchronous online format, that immediacy is gone. You'll watch a pre-recorded lecture. If you have a question, you'll type it into a forum or compose a formal email to your professor. Then you'll wait. Could be hours, it could be a day or two before you get a response. For some learners, this is perfectly fine. It forces them to think through their questions more deeply. For others, it's a roadblock. By the time they get an answer, the class has moved on, and the moment of optimal learning has passed. It breaks their momentum. This isn't a matter of being smart or not. It's about a fundamental compatibility between your learning style and the educational delivery method. So these are the giants you have to face: the demand for iron-willed self-discipline, the real risk of profound isolation, the Herculean task of securing clinical placements, and the potential mismatch with your personal learning style. These aren't minor inconveniences. They are the primary reasons why students drop out of online nursing programs. Ignoring them isn't just naive, it's a gamble with your future. But understanding them, truly understanding them, allows you to make an informed decision. It allows you to ask the right questions and, more importantly, to honestly ask yourself, am I truly built for this? What specific traits, what kind of personality not only survives this path but actually thrives on it? Let's talk about the unseen curriculum. These are the subjects that won't appear on your transcript, the skills that aren't taught in a lecture, but are tested every single day. The first, and arguably the most important, is becoming the absolute, undisputed CEO of your own education. When you enroll in a traditional on-campus program, you are handed a structure, a physical building you must go to, a classroom with a clock on the wall, professor standing in front of you, classmates sitting next to you. These things create an external scaffolding of accountability. That scaffolding is completely absent in an online environment. It's just you, a screen, and a deadline that feels abstract and miles away until it's suddenly hours away. This requires a level of self-discipline that borders on obsessive. You are not just the student. You are the scheduler, the project manager, the IT department, and your own motivational speaker. There is no one to tap you on the shoulder and say, "Hey, did you finish that pathophysiology reading?" There is no study group meeting in the library to pull you along. The temptation to say, "I'll do it tomorrow," is a constant siren song. And here's the critical difference. In many other fields, procrastinating on a paper means a late night and a lower grade. In nursing school, procrastinating on understanding the mechanism of action for beta blockers isn't just an academic failure. It's a knowledge gap that could, down the line, have profound consequences. The discipline required isn't just about getting good grades. It's about building a foundation of knowledge that people's lives will one day depend on. You have to be the kind of person who can create a rigid, non-negotiable schedule and stick to it, even when you're tired, even when life gets in the way, even when no one is watching. Because for the most part, no one will be. The second trait on this unseen curriculum is being a relentlessly proactive communicator. In a brick-and-mortar school, communication can be passive. You can raise your hand in class. You can linger after a lecture to ask the professor a quick question. You can absorb information by just overhearing conversations between classmates. Online, passivity is a death sentence for your understanding. If you don't grasp a concept, the silence will be deafening. The confusion will just sit there, festering. A successful online nursing student doesn't wait for clarity to find them. They hunt it down. They are not afraid to send a detailed, well-formulated email to an instructor. They pose thoughtful questions in the discussion forums. They take the initiative to form virtual study groups using Zoom or Discord, connecting with classmates they've never met in person. Think of it this way: you are your own first patient, and you must be your own best advocate. If you are struggling with fluid and electrolyte imbalances, you can't just hope it clicks eventually. You have to advocate for your own learning. You have to reach out and say, "I'm not getting this. Here's what I've tried, here's where I'm stuck. Can you help me?" This is a direct parallel to one of the most vital roles of a nurse. Nurses advocate for their patients every single day, speaking up to doctors, to families, to administration when something isn't right. Your online program is your training ground for this skill. If you are too timid or too passive to advocate for your own education, How will you find the strength to advocate for a vulnerable patient who can't speak for themselves? The ones who thrive are the ones who treat their email inbox and the class forum with the same seriousness as a clinical setting. They are professional, they are clear, and they are persistent. Next up is a trait that many people underestimate: resourcefulness and technological resilience. You don't need to be a software engineer, but you absolutely cannot be technophobic. An online nursing program isn't one website. It's an entire ecosystem of digital tools. You'll have the main learning management system, like Canvas or Blackboard. Then there's the separate platform for proctored exams, which might involve complex setup procedures and privacy scans of your room. There will be a third-party portal for clinical placement and logging your hours, a video conferencing tool for synchronous sessions, a digital library with its own search interface. The list goes on. The successful student isn't just someone who can log in. They're someone who, when a link is broken or a video won't load, doesn't just throw their hands up in frustration. They methodically troubleshoot. They clear their cache. They try a different browser. They search the university's IT knowledge base. They contact the help desk with specific, actionable information, not just, "It's not working." This adaptability is crucial. Imagine you're in the middle of a high-stakes final exam, proctored by software that's watching you through your webcam, and your internet connection flickers. Panic is the natural reaction, but the resilient student has already anticipated this possibility. They've read the syllabus section on technical difficulties. They know who to contact immediately. They take a deep breath and follow the protocol. This is a direct simulation of the modern healthcare environment. Hospitals are complex technological ecosystems. You'll be dealing with electronic health records, smart pumps, automated medication dispensers, and telehealth systems. Things will go wrong. The system will crash during a critical moment. Your ability to remain calm, troubleshoot, and adapt, skills you are forced to hone every single day as an online student, is what will separate a flustered novice from a competent professional. Finally, let's talk about the skill that underpins all of this: masterful, almost surgical time management. Most people pursuing an online nursing degree aren't doing it from a college dorm with a meal plan. They are adults with complex lives. They are often working full-time, sometimes in another healthcare role like a paramedic or a medical assistant. They are parents who have to manage school drop-offs and soccer practice. They are caregivers for aging relatives. The idea of finding time to study is a fantasy. There is no time to be found. It must be carved out, defended, and optimized with ruthless efficiency. The successful online student lives by their calendar. They schedule their study sessions like their doctor's appointments. They block out 2 hours on a Tuesday night for a pharmacology chapter, 90 minutes on a Thursday morning before work for a discussion board post, and all day Sunday for a major project. They become masters of the margins. They listen to recorded lectures on their commute. They have digital flashcards on their phone to review while waiting in line at the grocery store. They use their 30-minute lunch break to take a practice quiz. It's an intricate dance of balancing immense responsibilities. This isn't just about being organized. It's about making constant, calculated sacrifices. It might mean saying no to social events, waking up at 4:30 a.m., or using vacation days from work to prepare for finals. But here again, the program is preparing you for the reality of the profession. A 12-hour shift on a busy hospital floor is a masterclass in time management. You're juggling medication passes for 6 different patients, wound care, admissions, discharges, charting, and unexpected emergencies, all while the clock is ticking. Learning how to budget every minute of your day during your online program isn't just a prerequisite for graduation. It's a prerequisite for survival in your future career. So, when you look in the mirror, you have to ask yourself, do I see these people in me? The disciplined CEO, the proactive advocate, the resilient troubleshooter, and the master juggler. Not as fully formed experts, but as seeds of potential. Because if those seeds aren't there, this specific online path, could be an incredibly difficult journey. And even if they are, there's another massive, practical hurdle we haven't even touched yet: the money. The real cost, the hidden fees, and the return on that investment. Let's talk numbers. Cold, hard numbers. Because a dream, no matter how noble, still has to be paid for. When you first look at the tuition for an online nursing program, you might get a bit of sticker shock. Or you might be pleasantly surprised seeing a per credit hour cost that looks lower than the big state university down the road. But the number you see on the university's website? That's just the cover charge. The real party, the one your wallet wasn't invited to, has a whole list of other expenses. This is the financial fine print of online nursing education, and ignoring it is one of the biggest mistakes aspiring students make. First, let's kill a common myth. Online is not always cheaper. For-profit universities, in particular, can have tuition rates that rival or even exceed private, non-profit brick-and-mortar schools. Public universities often have different tuition tiers, one for in-state students and a much higher one for out-of-state students. And guess what? That applies to their online programs too. So if you're living in Texas and enrolling in an online program based in California, you'll likely be paying that higher out-of-state tuition, even though you'll never set foot on campus. You have to do the math school by school. But let's assume you found a program with a reasonable tuition rate. Now let's open up the itemized bill. The first thing you'll see are the fees. Oh, the fees. There's the technology fee, a non-negotiable charge every semester to pay for the learning management system, the IT help desk, and the digital infrastructure. Then there's the online proctoring fee. You can't just take your final exams on the honor system. You'll need to use a service that watches you through your webcam to ensure you're not cheating. And that service costs money, either per exam or as a flat semester fee. But the really big ones, the ones that catch everyone by surprise, are tied to your clinicals. Some schools, especially the large, national online-only universities, have what's called a clinical placement fee. They charge you a significant amount, sometimes hundreds or even thousands of dollars, for the service of finding you a clinical site and a preceptor. It's a convenience, sure, but it's a very expensive one. And what if they can't find you a placement nearby? You might be on the hook for finding your own, and you still might not get that fee back. Then there's the equipment. You're not on campus, so you can't use the university's simulation lab. Instead, you'll likely have to purchase a lab kit sent to your home. This box might contain a CPR dummy torso, a wound care practice arm, a catheterization model, and other supplies. These kits are not cheap and they're mandatory. You'll also need to budget for your own scrubs, a quality stethoscope, blood pressure cuff, textbooks, which are just as expensive online as they are in person, and potentially access codes for simulation software. And remember those on-campus intensives we talked about? The mandatory trips to the main campus for a few days or a week. Those are entirely on your dime. Imagine you live in rural Montana, but your top choice online program has its immersion weekend in Florida. Suddenly, you're not just budgeting for tuition, you're budgeting for a cross-country flight, a hotel for several nights, transportation, and meals. Repeat that 2 or 3 times over the course of your program, and you've just added thousands of dollars to your total cost. Before you can even start your clinicals, you'll have to pay for a comprehensive background check, a multi-panel drug screen, and provide proof of all your immunizations, which might require titers or booster shots that aren't covered by your insurance. And after you've jumped through all those hoops and finally graduated, the spending isn't over. You have to pay to apply for your state nursing license. You have to pay to register for the NCLEX exam. These are the final gatekeeping fees to your new career. When you add it all up, the tuition, the tech fees, the proctoring fees, the clinical fees, the lab kits, the travel, the background checks, the licensing, the total cost can be substantially higher than that initial number you saw on the website. It sounds daunting. It sounds like a mountain of debt waiting to happen. But here's the critical piece of the puzzle most people miss: how you pay for it and what you get in return. This is where we shift from cost to investment. First, financial aid. The vast majority of accredited online nursing programs are eligible for federal financial aid, just like a traditional school. This means you can and absolutely should fill out the FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid. This is your gateway to federal grants, like the Pell Grant, which you don't have to pay back, and federal student loans, which typically have more favorable interest rates and repayment options than private loans. There is no separate, lesser category of aid for online students. If the school is accredited, you're in the same boat as everyone else. Next, scholarships. Don't assume scholarships are only for 18-year-old high school valedictorians. There are countless scholarships specifically for nursing students, for students over 30, for single parents returning to school, for students from specific backgrounds. You have to do the work. Scour your school's financial aid website, look at organizations like the American Association of Colleges of Nursing, and use scholarship search engines. Applying for scholarships is a part-time job, but landing even a few small ones can significantly reduce your loan burden. But the real financial game changer, the ace in the hole for many online nursing students, is employer tuition reimbursement. If you are already working in healthcare, perhaps as an LPN, a CNA, or even in a non-clinical role at a hospital, your employer may have a program to help you pay for your education. This is a massive benefit. Typically, the way it works is you pay your tuition up front, and if you finish your courses with a certain grade, usually a B or better, your employer reimburses you for a portion or sometimes all of the cost. It's an investment for them. They get a more highly skilled employee who is more likely to stay with the company. For you, it's potentially a debt-free degree. This single factor can make the entire financial equation work. So now let's put it all together. The real bottom line isn't the cost. It's the return on investment, or ROI. You're not just buying a degree. You're investing in a new career trajectory. Let's look at some historical data. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the median pay for a licensed practical nurse is around $60,000 a year. The median pay for a registered nurse is over $86,000 a year. That's a potential $26,000 a year increase in earning power. Over a decade, that's more than $250,000 in additional earnings potential. Suddenly, a $50,000 or $60,000 degree doesn't seem like an expense. It looks like one of the most solid investments you could possibly make in yourself. And that's just the jump from LPN to RN. If you're an RN with an associate's degree pursuing your BSN online, the ROI is still powerful. While the immediate pay bump might be more modest, the BSN is the key that unlocks doors. It opens up opportunities in management, leadership, public health, and case management. It's the required degree for magnet hospital status, meaning many of the best hospitals to work for will either require a BSN or strongly prefer it. And if you want to go on to become a nurse practitioner, a nurse anesthetist, or a clinical nurse specialist, roles that often come with six-figure salaries, the BSN is a non-negotiable prerequisite. So the question isn't just, can I afford this degree? The real question is, what is the long-term cost of not getting this degree? It's the cost of staying in a lower-paying role. It's the cost of being passed over for promotions. It's the cost of having career doors closed to you before you even get a chance to knock. The financial journey of an online nursing degree is complex. It requires careful budgeting, diligent research into financial aid, and a clear-eyed view of all the hidden costs. But when you weigh that investment against the potential lifetime return in salary, opportunity, and job security, the math often tells a very compelling story. It's a story of short-term sacrifice for long-term transformation. And that transformation is about more than just your bank account. It's about the kind of impact you can make and the future you can build. But that story, the one told by the numbers, is only half the picture. Because a spreadsheet can't tell you what it feels like to hold a patient's hand when they're scared. It can't quantify the look of relief on a new mother's face. And it can't measure the quiet pride you feel at the end of a grueling 12-hour shift, knowing you made a tangible difference in someone's life. The financial transformation is the vehicle, but the human impact, that's the destination. And getting there, especially through an online program, requires a certain kind of fuel. It requires a level of personal grit that goes far beyond acing an anatomy exam. Let's be brutally honest for a moment. The single greatest advantage of an online nursing degree, its flexibility, is also its most dangerous trap. In a traditional university, your life is structured for you. Class is at 9 a.m. The library closes at midnight. Midterms are on this specific date. You are, in many ways, a passenger on a well-defined track. In an online program, you are the conductor, the engineer, and the person laying the track all at the same time. There is no professor looking over your shoulder to make sure you're not watching Netflix instead of the lecture on pharmacokinetics. There is no campus bell to tell you it's time to study. There is only you, your computer, and a deadline that seems impossibly far away. Until it's suddenly tomorrow. This requires a level of self-discipline that most people, frankly, don't have to cultivate. It's not about motivation. Motivation is fleeting. It's the spark you feel after watching an inspiring video. Discipline is the engine you build, piece by piece, that runs even when you're tired, even when you're uninspired, even when your kid is sick and you haven't slept in 2 days. It's the conscious decision to close the social media tab, to say no to a night out with friends, to wake up an hour earlier not because you want to, but because that's the only time you have to master the intricacies of the Krebs cycle. The successful online nursing student isn't necessarily the smartest one in the class. It's the one who masters the art of showing up for themselves, day after day. They become the CEO of their own education, managing their most valuable asset, their time. And this brings us to one of the biggest, most persistent questions about online nursing degrees. How do you learn a hands-on profession online? It's a valid fear. You can't learn how to insert N4 by watching a video. You can't learn to assess a patient's breathing by reading a PDF. And no reputable program would ever suggest you could. This is where we need to shatter a common myth. An online nursing degree is not a fully online virtual reality experience. It's a hybrid model. The theory, the lectures, the coursework, the foundation of knowledge, that's what you do online on your schedule. But the practice? The hands-on application? That happens in the real world. Every accredited online nursing program has a mandatory, in-person clinical component. These aren't optional. They are the bedrock of your education. You will be on the floor of a hospital, in a clinic, or in a long-term care facility, working alongside seasoned professionals. This is where the digital meets the physical. It's where all those hours spent staring at a screen suddenly click into place. You'll have a preceptor, an experienced nurse who acts as your mentor, your guide, and your safety net. They won't just watch you, they'll challenge you. They'll ask you why you're choosing that course of action, forcing you to connect the theory from your online lectures to the living, breathing patient in front of you. I remember a story from a student named Maria. She'd spent weeks online, memorizing the different types of heart murmurs, listening to audio files, and studying diagrams. But it was all abstract. Then, during her first cardiology clinical, her preceptor had her listen to a patient's chest. And there it was. That distinct, swooshing sound she'd only ever heard through her laptop speakers. In that moment, it wasn't just a soundbite from a lecture. It was a diagnostic clue, a piece of a human puzzle she was helping to solve. That is the magic of the hybrid model. The online portion gives you the what, but the clinicals give you the so what. Now, here's a critical piece of advice. The process for securing these clinical placements can be one of the biggest hurdles. Some programs have extensive networks and will arrange your clinical rotations for you. This is a massive advantage. Others, however, put the responsibility on the student. You have to find your own placement, your own preceptor. This can be an incredibly stressful process of cold calling hospitals and clinics, many of which are already inundated with requests. Before you even think about applying to a program, this should be one of your first questions to the admissions counselor. What is your process for clinical placements? Do you guarantee a placement for me? Or am I responsible for finding my own? Their answer will tell you a great deal about the level of support you can expect. This concern about connection extends beyond clinicals. There's a fear of isolation in online learning. Will you miss out on the camaraderie, the late-night study groups, the shared experience of a traditional campus? It's a different experience to be sure, but isolation is a choice, not a certainty. Modern online programs are designed to foster community. You'll have dedicated class forums that are more active than you might think, where students share notes, ask questions, and vent about tough exams at 2 a.m. You'll form virtual study groups over video chat, sharing screens and quizzing each other across time zones. Your professors will hold virtual office hours, offering one-on-one guidance that can be even more focused than on a busy campus. What often happens is a unique and powerful kind of bonding. Your classmates aren't just people you see in a lecture hall. They are fellow parents, career changers, and dreamers, all juggling complex lives to achieve the same goal. They understand your struggle in a way your friends and family might not. They know what it's like to study after putting the kids to bed, or to write a paper on your lunch break. This shared crucible forges incredibly strong connections. Your online cohort becomes your tribe, your support system, your professional network before you even graduate. Ultimately, navigating the self-discipline, the clinicals, and the virtual community all comes back to one fundamental question. Why are you really doing this? Because if the answer is just about the money or a flexible schedule, the challenges of an online program might break you. This path is a test. It tests your resolve, your time management, and your commitment long before you ever face a life or death situation with the patient. It demands that you be a proactive, resourceful, and resilient learner, the very same qualities that define an exceptional nurse. So you have to ask yourself the hard questions. When you're exhausted and overwhelmed, what will keep you going? Is it the vision of a better future for your family? Is it a deep, unshakable desire to care for people at their most vulnerable? Is it the challenge of mastering a complex and vital profession? Because nursing at its core is a calling wrapped in a career. It's about being the calm in the chaos, the advocate for the voiceless, the steady hand in a moment of fear. An online degree is an incredible, powerful tool that can put that calling within your reach. But it is you who must answer it. It is you who must decide if you have the heart, not just the head, to see it through. So, let's talk about that decision. How do you truly know if an online nursing degree is the right choice for you? It's not about finding a perfect, one-size-fits-all answer. It's about conducting a brutally honest audit of yourself, your life, your habits, your fears, and your deepest motivations. This is where the rubber meets the road. Forget the brochures and the recruitment pitches for a moment. This is about you. I want you to ask yourself 4 critical questions. And I mean really ask. Write them down. Meditate on them. The clarity you gain will be worth more than any tuition payment. First, the why audit. Ask yourself with unflinching honesty, why do you want to be a nurse? Go deeper than, I want to help people. Everybody says that. What does helping people actually look like to you? Is it the intellectual challenge of diagnosing a complex illness? Is it the adrenaline of an emergency room? Is it the quiet dignity of providing end-of-life care? Is it the stability of a respected profession and a steady paycheck? There are no wrong answers here, but your answer is your fuel. An online program will test your resolve. On those long nights when you're staring at a screen exhausted with a family to care for and a job to go to in the morning, I want to help people might not be enough. But I want to be the person who can explain a scary diagnosis to a family with compassion and clarity. Or, I want the financial independence to give my kids a better life. That is concrete. That is fuel. Your why has to be strong enough to pull you through the toughest curriculum on your own. Second, the how audit. Ask yourself, how do you actually learn? Not how you wish you learned, but how you truly absorb and retain information. Be honest. Do you need the energy of a classroom? Do you learn from the spontaneous questions your classmates ask? Do you need the fixed schedule of a 2 p.m. lecture to keep you on track? If so, an online program will be an uphill battle against your own nature. But if you're the kind of person who gets frustrated by the slow pace of a group, who prefers to read and reread a chapter until it clicks, who learns by pausing a video lecture to go down a research rabbit hole on your own, then the online environment is built for you. Are you a master of your own schedule, or a servant to it? Can you create structure where there is none? Can you be your own taskmaster, your own motivator, and your own harshest critic? The freedom of online learning is its greatest gift and its most dangerous trap. Knowing your learning style isn't just helpful, it's essential for survival. Third, the what audit. Ask yourself, what are the non-negotiables in your current life? This is the practical, logistical reality check. Make a list. Your full-time job, your children's soccer practice, caring for an aging parent, your mortgage payment. These are not obstacles. They are the facts of your life. The beauty of an online degree is its potential to weave itself around these facts. But it still demands a significant sacrifice of one of your most precious resources, time. Where will the 15 to 20 hours of study time per week come from? It has to come from somewhere. Will it be your sleep? Your social life? Your hobbies? You have to perform a time theft calculation. You have to decide what you are willing to give up for 2 to 4 years to gain the future you want. Don't just assume you'll find the time. You won't. You have to make the time by consciously and deliberately sacrificing something else. What will it be? And finally, fourth, the where audit. Ask yourself, where do you intend to work and what does that journey look like from here? This is about forward thinking. Start researching now. Where will you do your clinicals? An online program offers you the theory, but the practice happens in the real world. You are often responsible for helping to secure those placements. Are you in a rural area with only one hospital? That could be a challenge. Are you in a major city saturated with nursing students from 10 different brick-and-mortar schools? That's also a challenge. You need to investigate this before you enroll. Call the HR departments of local hospitals. Ask them which online programs they partner with or respect. Ask them about their hiring policies for new grads from online programs. Furthermore, think about networking. In a traditional program, you build a network with your peers and professors organically. Online, you have to be deliberate. You have to be the one reaching out in forums, forming study groups, and connecting with alumni on platforms like LinkedIn. Your career doesn't begin after graduation. It begins with the connections you start making on day one. After you've sat with those 4 questions, I want you to face the fear. Let's name it. The fear of failure. The fear of not being smart enough. The fear of taking on all this debt and not finding a job. These fears are valid. They are signals, not stop signs. The fear of failure is your mind telling you to create a solid study plan. The fear of not being smart enough is a prompt to utilize every single resource. Tutors, office hours, study groups. The fear of not finding a job is your motivation to excel in your clinicals, to network relentlessly, and to build a resume that shines. So what is the next step? Not enrolling. Not yet. Your journey to an answer begins with 3 simple, actionable tasks. First, your real homework starts tonight. I want you to identify 3 accredited online nursing programs that interest you. Not just glance at their homepages. Dig deep. Find their NCLEX pass rates for the last 5 years. Find their graduation rates. Look for detailed information on how they support students with clinical placements. Is it a dedicated department or a single, overworked coordinator? This is investigative journalism for your own life. Second, find one person. Just one. Find a working nurse who graduated from an online program. Use LinkedIn, use nursing forums, use your local hospital's directory. Reach out, be respectful of their time, and ask if you can have 10 minutes to hear their story. Ask them what they wish they had known. Ask them what the hardest part was. Their single real-world story will be more illuminating than 100 college view books. And third, schedule an appointment with yourself. Put 1 hour in your calendar this week. No phone, no TV, no distractions. Just you, a pen, and a piece of paper. And answer those 4 questions: why, how, what, and where. Write it all down. The good, the bad, the scary. Look at it in black and white. The path to becoming a nurse is a challenge, no matter which road you take. The online path is a unique test of autonomy, discipline, and resourcefulness. It is not an easier path. It is a different one. It is a path for the self-starter, the life juggler, the person who refuses to let their current circumstances be a barrier to their future calling. Whether you choose an online program, a traditional campus, or decide that now isn't the right time, the very fact that you are asking these questions, that you are exploring this noble profession, says something profound about who you are. The world needs more people like you. People who are willing to run toward the challenge, to comfort the sick, to advocate for the vulnerable. The degree, online or on campus, is just the key. It opens the door. But you, with your unique blend of compassion, intelligence, and grit, you are the one who has to walk through it, ready to serve. The question isn't just whether an online nursing degree is right for you. The real question is, are you ready to become the person that degree will demand you to be? Only you can answer that. Now go do the work and find your truth.